Morning, everybody. I did a quick video this morning. Been a few days. Um, we were this last weekend went to Arkansas, saw the grandbabies. That was amazing. They grow so fast. Oh my god, it's just crazy. Yeah, youngest one, March 12th was her birthday. And so we went up there and celebrated. What a celebration. Walking real good at 1 year old. No talk, just some jabber right now. But the oldest, who's 2.5, Addie, she'll be 3 in July. Oh boy, she's a talking machine. Sorry. Snotty this morning as usual. There's nothing new here. I've been talking about the Sons of God Ministries. Jason and I talked a little bit about it and sent him some links to go check out. So I figured I'd better show y'all what I've been talking about if y'all hadn't already hunted it down. So I'm gonna play a video here. Let's see. Is this the one I want? No, I don't think this is the one I want. Yeah, this ain't the one I want. What happened? What happened? I don't know what happened. That's not the one I want to share. Yeah. And I haven't used this screen share in a while. And okay, maybe this is the one. Okay. All right. Yeah, I hadn't shared in quite a while. So, man, that's a second big old spider I've seen this morning. Man, that was a big sucker. Okay, I think I got this now. Let me make sure that's okay. That is the one I wanna show. And before I do that, I don't think there's any dogs out there. Mosquitoes already started flying in here. Okay, now let's try this one more time. Yeah, I think I understand it now. Right, there we go. So this is his latest one, and I found it interesting. What's going on? Why won't it play? What is going on here? Guys, that's not cool. I want to play the video. That's weird. Okay, let's try it another way then. That's a Patreon page. I don't know what difference that would make, but it does. It does, obviously. All right, let's see. Well, that one I wanted to show you. That drives me. Okay, well, I'll just show you Let's see. Trying to. That's okay. We'll show this one. Sorry, this has been kind of a hectic. Okay, I think I think we got it on track now. So let's try this one more time. Why won't these videos play when I screen share? Y'all see this, guys? What is going on here? This is weird. Huh. Well, I can't all of a sudden share screen. So, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what's up with that. It wouldn't let me share. I don't know if my my subscription is bad. I don't know what's up with that. That is weird. Because it said I was sharing the screen, didn't it? Oh, what the heck. Since that don't work, that's a wake and bake. But it was great going to see the grandbabies. You know, getting to the point where they recognize us. The little one, Emma. She played strange a little bit. But her and I started getting along real good. Yeah, we started getting along real good. The reason I wanted to share that video is it's real good about talking about the Melchizedek order, priesthood in the Bible, and the Levitical, and how they were how they were separated, and the differences in them, and really showed one of the best group of verses. Sorry, nose itching. Best group of verses to point out that God of the Old Testament, the bloodthirsty God of the Old Testament, was Yahweh, not El Elyon, the Father, God the Father. And then I believe was it Matthew 6 says in there, he says in there, and he goes back to, and he quotes Hosea in the Old Testament, that he says, my Father, never requires sacrifice, only obedience. And you go back to Hosea, he's saying the same thing. In Hosea, I believe it talked about how, the God of El Elyon, he requires obedience, not sacrifice. And so Yahweh being a lesser God, he required his sacrifice. And it's pretty interesting how when somebody's done that homework and they've put those verses together from old to new, that's pretty neat. And he went to the Septuagint and showed in the Septuagint where it talks about Hosea, where it says same thing. Hey, this God you worship sacrifice. My God just, obedience. So it's a good study. If if you didn't realize before, should realize, I guess, going forward, the devil is loosed and he is under one huge deception. Wow. If you pay any attention at all to the news, it's just wow. They are just they're out there literally killing it. This the latest deal was that France's Prime Minister Macron. They're saying his wife ain't so much a wife as she is a buddy. You know what I mean? And I don't know. The whole deal with the president. I don't know if y'all seen those hearings, but the Democrats, that is so amazing. These people just, I've said it 1,000 times, I'll say it again. I admire the Democrats. Golly. Those guys, they stick Team D no matter how stupid it makes them look. That's freaking Inspector General, the guy who was tasked to, or special counsel who was tasked to investigate Joe Biden and his documents. He says, yeah. We found top secret classified documents, yeah, in his basement. Yes. Yes, in his garage. Locked up? No. Yes, in his office. Yes, at the Penn Center at University of Pennsylvania. Yes, in his like 6 places. He had documents he shouldn't have. And the whole time, the left is going, you knew what you were doing. When you took this job, you knew the sensitivity of it. You knew the importance of presenting the facts. Unvarnished. They start tearing this poor guy's. They start just ripping him apart. They come almost right out saying, "You're doing this to help Trump. You only did this report because you want him to win." And it was so crazy that Adam Schiff, if you haven't seen the video, go back. Adam Schiff is just raking a sky with the calls, just accusing him of doing this on purpose because it's an election year, and he couldn't keep his bias out of it. He just couldn't keep it out, and he knew his words were gonna carry a lot of weight. He knew he was gonna make the president look bad, and the guy in there, he did his best to not make him look bad. But it's kind of like when you and 3 buddies walk through the door and there's a 6-pack of beer sitting there and they turn around and turn back and it's gone. It's pretty safe to assume you took it. They're going to maybe ask once, where'd the beer go? And if you're, oh, no, man, wasn't me. Yeah, it's pretty, that was Joe's answer to about everything. Like the guy said, it's a failing memory of an elderly man. He couldn't stand trial. He couldn't stand a trial. Forgetful. But like Comey did for Clinton. But I don't think his intent was to do that. His intent wasn't to steal classified documents, but there are audio recordings from his ghostwriter. They're talking and he goes, hey, those classified documents, I believe they're downstairs. We found them. I'll bring them up, okay? And the ghostwriter says, okay, you want to do a portion on that? Yeah. I'll get those classified documents. And and they showed the clips of when he was first asked about it. So, Mr. President, what about the classified and top secret documents at your home, your office, your garage? They weren't there. It's not true. It's not true. I didn't do it. Hold on, guys. Man. Sorry. Man, that's two big old spiders. Just come. It's that time of the year. I can't go walk the dogs without taking a stick and going like that. I'll walk right through the spider webs everywhere. But that's pretty sad. Y'all gotta go watch that. I mean, that was just wow. Wow. They were just raking that poor guy over the coals. It was just the opposite with the Mueller guy. Mueller guy's sitting there telling them, and I didn't find nothing, you know, no Russia. And they rake him over the coals. Why are you hiding this? What are you hiding from us? You know, how many actual investigators did you put on this? Did you even try? You had to have found a crime. You had to have. And then they find crimes about it, and they're like, what are you talking about? Crimes? There's no crimes here. There's no crimes. He had some papers with this, the office heading on it. It impresses people. Yeah, nothing big. Just crazy. Then there was the report of in the entertainment business of a producer. I was a producer for, I believe, Puffy. Come out. He filed the case, man. These people, they did their FOIA and got the filing. And man, the stuff this guy accuses Puff Daddy of, and he's got pictures, he's got videos. Oh man. After Cat Williams, first year, opened up old Pandora's box, more and more people are coming out going, yeah, Hollywood is evil. It is bad. You do have to sell your soul. They will approach you. And so many times, it's like Cat Williams said, what's the first thing for someone who sold their soul? What's their first priority? To convince you they didn't. Oh no, they interviewed that guy. He said that's just the dumbest thing. These people, imagination. Just imagination. Oh yeah. They see conspiracy everywhere. But ain't so much conspiracy. I don't know if y'all watch Candace Owens, but Rabbi Shmuley, this upstanding Jewish citizen, rabbi and all, is a owner of a adult product company, which I thought this was how do you make lubrication for adult usage that's kosher? Yeah, he makes kosher adult lubrications. And he's pretty slimy. Plus some other products, that particular product would necessarily have to be used in some of the products he sells. And she did a report, and she had showed that fact. And the reason she ran across him was because he was involved with Michael Jackson. He was on a list that Michael Jackson said was was one of the evil ones. And so he's in this report, and she says next thing she knows, this guy and his daughter are coming out going, this anti-Semite, Candace Owens, she's evil, she's the worst, da da da, going, trying to cancel her, right? And they couldn't cancel her. And so she did a rebuttal to him going, I don't know what your deal is, You're just a rabbi and you're selling adult, products. You don't see the problem, I do. And his daughter and him just keep coming. They put out a video going, we are going to bankrupt her. And they're going, everybody, call us up, email us, join us. If she's attacked you, we're gonna get a civil case together. We're gonna take her to court. We're gonna bankrupt her. It's like, oh, Rabbi, yeah, God's mercy, right? No, they have no mercy because they live by the law. They live by the Mosaic 10 Commandment, the Old Testament, and they need sacrifice. Yeah, they don't play that forgiveness stuff. It's sacrifice, eye for an eye. But the in those and in her freaking journey, investigating all this stuff and researching it, I come across a tape from I believe it was the 1970s. I want to say 60s or 70s. And I can't say which rabbi it was. I don't know if it was Shmuley or somebody else, but it was in that story. I have to get that. I don't know why the StreamYard won't share. But so this tape, this audio tape, this guy interviewing a rabbi. And it starts up with, you've been awful open today, much more open, than you've ever been before. And that makes me curious to what's changed, what's going on. And the guy laughs and he goes, it's out there. He says they wrote a book. A guy, and he names off this author. He says he wrote a book 15 years ago telling you all about it. And the reporter goes, telling us all about what? What we were talking about, the sacrifice, the blood sacrifice, and putting the blood in the matzo balls and doing the rituals and all that. And he goes, yeah, the guy wrote the book. He he told everything in it. You didn't listen. The Goyim. Nobody wanted to listen. It ain't my fault. They told you. And the guy says, so you're telling me? He goes, yes, we still do the ritual. We still do the blood sacrifice. Yes, we do. You Goyim, y'all don't understand. We tell you, you don't listen. It's your fault. And that was just, wow. When I heard that was creepy. That was crazy. And all this stuff I tell you is for entertainment purposes only. All of these things are public availability. No exclusives, no copyrights, nothing going on here. I know, right, guys? I've had my channel taken down enough. But you see that kind of stuff. You hear that kind of stuff. And the funny thing is this guy's not, when it comes to Candace Owen, he's not denying any of it. He's just attacking her because she said his name. From what I understand, it's just the same old thing. She's an anti-Semite, so therefore she must be taken down. You can't have anti-Semitism anywhere, these people. And it's wow. The things that they're getting by with now is just, have y'all heard anything? There's hardly nothing on YouTube about the Israeli-Palestinian thing. It's been a week or two since I saw a video, and it was a pro-Israel, and it was, it was pretty sketchy. There wasn't a lot of information there. So, I don't know. Josh and the Sons of God Ministries. I believe it was him. He was having a discussion, and one of the guys on his stream brought up a document talking about how, the end plan is New Jerusalem in Ukraine. And wow, the way it read out is the way it's gone down. The whole thing started in Ukraine, and it was not advertised. It was not in the papers, but lots of God's children, the tribe of Israel, were evacuated out. And supposedly their plan it was in the plan to start the Palestinian-Israeli deal. When this dust all settles, they're supposed to go, we've got an idea. How about the Jewish state? We move it to Ukraine. Have a New Jerusalem. There's alone. Russia, nobody around us. Everybody agrees. We have no enemies there. Here in the Middle East, we got a lot of enemies. Yeah, this ain't gonna work. So we're gonna go over there. Palestinians, you can have this now that we've killed 90% of you. Have it. And that's the way the paper read out. And so far, that's the way things are going. And a lot of people, and I believe it, and people have speculated for a long time that, all this, my whole life has just been the, synagogue of Satan, laying the breadcrumbs to mimic a Revelations type atmosphere, to make the Christians the goyim, to make us believe that hey, wait, hey, the Bible is true. Look, all this is happening. And it's, Satan's little trick, the deception, the great deception. And my whole life, it's just been, wow, you look back and all those little things, look where they got us. I still remember, I was in 8th grade when they took the hostages. Yeah. And Jimmy Carter was president. And I still remember the day Ronald Reagan got elected, they let them all go. And that introduced the world, to terrorism. Yeah, I remember that. I remember our introduction to terrorism. What better way to introduce us to terrorism than a standoff like that on national TV 24/7? The death, the spectacle. This is terrorism. Wow. And it just, on and on and on. Decade after decade now. Just tightening the screws on us a little more. Just keep tightening. We'll get there. And they know their game plan, and we all know the end was written from the beginning. And they know a certain amount will comply. And they know there'll be a battle, and they know they'll lose. But that's the beauty of an ignorant person, ignorant movement, is even knowing they're going to lose, they say, maybe this time we'll win. You think we're going to lose. It ain't over yet. That's the lie of the devil, right? Yeah, you can drive. You hadn't had too much to drink. Yeah, go ahead. She won't get pregnant. I mean, think about all of them. Go ahead and take that money. Nobody will see. Just go ahead and do it. Do it. And it's, wow. The stuff, it's almost, I know for a lot of y'all, you feel the same way. A lot of the news coming out is old news, because we've been knowing this, and it's just finally, they're letting it out, drip, drip. But who, besides me, believes there's gonna be a big BS pile come this freaking election. You know, there's gonna be the October surprise. What's that gonna be? And then midnight, 12:01 on November 6th, day after election, it's gonna start. And it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. It's gonna be interesting to see if I totally believe the left will go all the way. They will die on this hill. They want this power so bad. It's just too much of a threat with Trump. They did their dangdest first time. They gotta get him in jail somehow. They're just dying to get him in jail somehow. And it's amazing. They just hate him so much. And that's almost, that's if you've seen the movie Nefarious, when the demon's in there and he's being questioned, they bring in what's supposed to be a priest. Well, he's a new modern day priest. And as soon as he walks in, the demon jumps up and says, "Oh, wait, what are you doing bringing a man of God in here? I didn't approve this. Get him out." And the guy starts to talk, going, "Now listen, and all of a sudden the demon starts going, "Oh, come on in. I'll talk to you." He knew this wasn't a man of God. He was just fine. You come on in, Mr. Priest. He had a rainbow, deal around his neck. The demon was like, "Fine, come on in, buddy. I'll talk to you all day." But we got that going now. I don't know if y'all have seen the the Good Street videos, but there's some guys now going around going, "Excuse me, do you think it's okay to transition children?" And these people are like, "Well, of course, to Christianity." And they're like, no. Oh, that's perfect the way they do that. Transition them into this. But oh, no. Not into Christianity. That's bad for them. Cutting their genitals off. That's a walk in the park. Introducing them to God, that could destroy their lives. Imagine that. Wow. And that's double speak now. It's 1984. Right here. Double talk. Double speak. It's just what's good is bad, and it's evil is good. It's just, wow, we're seeing it right here before our eyes. And these people, they are committed. They are committed. I don't know if y'all watch Patrick Bet-David's podcast, but they had Chris Cuomo on there with Candace Owens. And he's a typical leftist that he just will not make a stand on anything. He always wants to be seen as fair and on both sides, and no opinion. Acts like people are stupid, that his biases don't exist. Acts like his viewpoint is so straight down the middle that he's able to see both sides so clearly. But Candace Owens made him look like a buffoon. And she even at one point said, Chris, I'm going to stop you right there before you embarrass yourself anymore. I'm going to stop you right there. And of course, the whole time he plays the, well, I'm not very smart. Self-deprecating bull. It is just, that was, excuse me, that was worth the watch. Because he proved and he showed that's the face of the Democratic Party. In the heat of the moment, they're going to say whatever it takes to just keep the road smooth. Without ever truly letting you know who they are. They'll never really reveal what they are. That's the difference in Christians, conservatives. We tell you, this is where we stand. This is where we stand. And you don't like it. Find yourself a soother or something, because it's not going to change. But the left, they're so squishy and flip-floppy. And you can't trust them. You can't trust anything they say. You can't. That's the bad thing. Is how do you go into any kind of negotiation with somebody like that, who acts in bad faith, most of the time. That's their thing. That's their thing. Unless you're on their team and you're all going down the same road, they're not going to deal with you fair and honestly. They're not. You can't trust them, and they don't mind. I don't mind that persona. They like Nancy Pelosi. People used to say about her, "Oh, she's a tough negotiator." No, she's a cheat, a lie. She's a backstabber. She talks out both sides of her mouth. It's not tough negotiation. It's lying. It's deception. Deception. How did those people sit there and go, the president, oh, he looked so good in the State of the Union. He was vigorous. He was attentive. He was focused. What? See, they're the kind, I guess, you can stand there and both of you watch a bus run somebody over, and I'm like, yeah, the bus never touched the brakes. And they're like, oh my God, the bus did everything they could, and the guy jumped out in front of them. No, that's not what happened at all. Yeah, I was there. I saw it. No. Yes. That's how it was just about for that State of the Union. He got run over by a bus, and they're like, nope. The bus ran up on the curb and was trying to hit him, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen. He avoided the bus so gracefully. Yeah, but they did talk about, for that speech, the bar was so low because he'd proven over the last 3 years he couldn't talk to reporters or give speeches without mush mouthing his words and losing his place and fumbling off script, and they knew he couldn't. And so many people speculated that he was helped with his performance through Big Pharma and their conglomerate. And I don't doubt that for sure. And they were just glad he made it through it. They were so glad he didn't stumble going up the stairs. They're so glad that his gaffes were things they could shrug off. Yeah, it's the State of the Union is poor, to say the least. It didn't even address the State of the Union. He addressed the state of the race in some forms. He's just so incoherent. It's hard to follow him. It's coming, folks. It's coming. Be prepared. Put on the full armor of God. I truly believe those of us believe we've got a buffer of protection. We're going to be able to stay arm's length from this and observe and make good decisions. Have our discernment. Keep that vibrations up. Stay on that higher plane. And keep learning. Keep learning. Keep reading the Bible. Keep studying. Find a reference. I didn't. Like all of us, we struggle to understand the Bible. And we've always relied on other people's interpretation to tell us that's what this means. Morning, dear. You about out of here? Yep. What is today anyway? Thursday. I think I got a mow today. I'll get back on that topic here in a minute when she leaves, so I keep my train of thought. What? I was just telling them I'll get back on that topic as soon as you leave, so I don't lose my train of thought. Because I can lose my train of thought easily. Hey, Stanley. I think, dear, the dry mouth is more when the air conditioner's running than anything. Because we've been running the air conditioner the last few nights. And man, I don't know about y'all, but I wake up and there isn't a drop of moisture. There's more moisture in the Sahara than in my mouth. Just so dry. It's weird. And it's just now and then I kind of associate it with around the air conditioner.
Mine's because I snore.
She says hers is because she snores. I mean, I don't snore, but I breathe. Snoring is just poor breathing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But we when we went and saw those grandbabies, we stayed at a
Airbnb.
Airbnb. There you go. Stayed at Airbnb. It's the second time we've stayed at one.
Third.
Second different place.
Third.
Is it the third? What other Airbnbs? Oh, that one on that side hill. I forgot about that one. Yeah, it's the third Airbnb we've stayed at. And they hadn't been bad. But this one, Kathy liked the most of the three. I don't really care. It was a bed, had a shower. I'm cool. But
Okay, so the porch view,
it's half the price of a hotel room. Half or third of the price of some of them. And it's just like the hotel industry is, wow, they are really, really gouging. Because, we had a 2-bedroom house with a full kitchen, all the amenities, everything stocked. You about to go, babe? Everything there. Love you, Derek. Have a good day. Everything you need in them, all the towels and soaps, shampoos, all that jazz, right? And half to a third of the price.
Nobody's out here, right?
No, shouldn't be.
Maybe
Louie. I don't know. So back on what I was talking about. It was difficult, to go through the Bible, especially if you go Old Testament to New Testament, because when you go through that direction, I think it just so hard to relate back, right? So they have guides that show the relationships between Old Testament, New Testament verses, and so I suggest find one of those or somebody. Yes, dear.
jacket.
Your jacket, is it cold?
No, work jacket.
Oh, your lab cape. Did you leave it at work?
Must be at work. Okay. If not, I have an OR one.
There you go. Grab an OR one. Have a good one, dear.
Love you. Later.
I do. Bye.
Can you grocery those, please?
I will. But yeah, I mean, using one of those guides is so helpful. Or finding somebody like, Sons of God Ministry that's the way they go through the Bible and teach the Bible. And using other texts, the Septuagint, the writings of other people of the time that talk about, this happened, and so, okay, the Bible says it, and you read these guys, they say it. Uses a lot of reference that way. And my understanding is just wow, it's really had a veil lifted. I've talked about before the idea that for me, especially the way the Old Testament talked about it, these people that worshipped other gods and worshipped idols and did sacrifices. For some reason in my mind, it took me forever to do the correlation of, okay, those are the fallen angels that here on earth they could sure depict themselves as gods, and people would be more prone to believe it because they could see they could do things supernatural or whatever, and so they worshipped them. I always had thought it was kind of like somebody saw a sign or something in the clouds or something and said, oh, the sun god or whatever. I didn't really know. It was really confusing for me because there's one true God is what I always heard. And then in the scriptures, the way it sprinkles in here and there about other gods and God, having court with them. I believe that's how it says it. It didn't really hit me till I saw I saw the correlation, New Testament, Old Testament. So those things are helpful. I mean, if you've come to those realizations already, great. But if you haven't, I suggest you look into this, because it changed. It didn't change my faith. It didn't change my understanding of, Christ died for my sins and his mercy is my gift. But the fuller understanding of the plan, of the way, God wants his people to be in the plan, for our souls. It helped. It helped a lot. And I hope it helps somebody else. I the couple of times I pulled it up in the video right at the first and it wouldn't play. You can see the name. That's his Patreon. And it's the same thing on YouTube. So so I found it helpful. I found it really helpful, because there were some things that, modern theology was telling me to chalk up to metaphor. Other times they were telling me to chalk it up to just a retelling of, it has no significance. It's just, like Genesis 1-2. And I always said, oh, that's just a retelling of 1. Not even close. Not even close. Not even close. So, yeah, it helps. It helps a lot. And I was thankful that I ran across this information, because I was kind of at a headway where I wasn't getting any further with understanding, and it was getting frustrating. I was starting to just sit back and kind of rehash everything I did believe I understood, and I kept coming to the same spot of why. And it always bugged me. Well, why in the Old Testament? Was there's so much sacrifice and so much death and destruction, when I'm told, and it demonstrates it in the Old Testament. El Elyon, God the Father, is a merciful God. He doesn't require sacrifice. And Yahweh, the lesser God, Satan, required sacrifice. And until you see those correlating verses that lay it out, it's hard to wrap your head around. It was for me, because I thought God was God. And these lesser gods were just idols people made and said, we're going to worship this. Like the Israelites in the desert, they made a calf, a golden calf. I didn't ever really see any demonstration that that Yahweh and the lesser gods were moving on the people, making a difference. But now that you're shown the proper connections, okay, I see that now. God restores and heals, and Yahweh sacrifices and murders. So it was eye-opening for me. So I hope that helps some. I was at a standstill in my understanding until I ran across this, and wow, sure opened my eyes. And now I talk about aperture open, perspective a lot sharper now. Sure helpful. Gave me a lot of peace. To have that understanding. I was able to, okay. I'm on the right track. And it's hard to listen. Wow, it's hard to listen to some of these modern preachers. Just wow. Not even preaching God's message. Bodie Bachman and John Roberts, a couple of them, they teach God's message. Boy, these other guys, they teach their message that God said, hey, have fun. I want you to get rich, and I want you to I want you to have all the finest things. I want you, like your riches stored up in heaven. I want you to be prosperous. Those guys are such snakes. I wonder how many people go to those churches and sit there, and in their mind they're going, man, I've been here about 50 times. Hadn't felt the Holy Spirit yet. Enjoyed the music. Oh yeah, the vibe from the music. Everybody was singing and dancing. That was not, that was cool. But when the words started coming out of his mouth, no Holy Spirit, what am I doing here? I don't know, because they keep showing up week after week, opening their wallets and getting fed nothing. Getting fed rotten fruit, stale wine. Crazy. But that's my ponderings. That's my ramblings for the day, I guess. I've been going 51 minutes. Yeah, that's plenty. All right. Love you all. Good discernment. Good vibrations. Take care.